Hi there, welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto. Can you do us a favour, please? Can you like this video before we even start? 'Cause it's going to be great and you're going to love it. And it's just best to like it in advance in case you forget. Also, make sure you are subscribed and you've got the notifications set on all. Okay, so if you've been any sort of vague, regular viewer of the channel, you will know that I've been talking about this indicator for about 3 months now, and it hasn't always looked like this. It used to look more like this, which was a complete mess with quite a few parts of it not working properly. Many thanks to Crypto J, who came along, who helped me get a few things working, which was brilliant. And then along came Maff The Coder, who transformed it into what we can see today, which is really pretty, really useful. And guess what? It's going to get better. Maff showed me some improvements he's made to the indicator yesterday, and I'd just like to share our conversation with you, and you can see what you think. And we are aiming to release this version sometime this week, which is a really good reason to make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you have the notifications set to all. Okay, so let's rewind to yesterday and let's see what Maff showed me.
So anything particularly you may have noticed that's different from before?
Got funny purple bits on the
chart.
On the chart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's kind of, so it's escaped out of this panel essentially. So it's gone from not just down here to optionally up here as well.
Wow.
So I was thinking we might want to, in the settings, just default to these bits being switched off, but then you can just switch them on if you want. So I'll go through this bit by bit, and then I think that'll explain the shaded bits. Although you probably gather a bit anyway of what they're showing. It's just kind of like, I'll just explain it. Yeah,
I'm just trying to work it out. Actually, it's not obvious, so I'm looking forward to your explanation.
Okay, sure. In that case, yeah. So I'll go through it. If I go into the settings, so there's actually a bunch of new things. There are some tweaks down in this panel as well. But in terms of the stuff that's up here, I guess that's, in a way, that's the more exciting stuff, really.
Okay.
So down here we've got EMAs. So show EMAs on the main price chart.
All right.
And there's EMA convergence zones, which is what those shaded bits are. If I switch over to here for a second, to the style tab, down here, so we've got EMA 5 and EMA 9. There's also the 200 as well, but
okay. Just
for now. So we've got the 4 EMAs. Because the thing with the CT Mac, which I've got switched off at the moment, is that I was thinking that maybe it's getting a little bit too much credit because, I mean, it's a good indicator, obviously, but what it's the part of it that I think we're commonly using is these 4 EMAs.
Yeah.
And those are really just sort of courtesy of TradingView. It has its own set of EMA functions, sort of time series functions and things that are based on that. So you got like a TA dot EMA, and you just tell it which time frame and so on to use that. So and then you just tell it to plot it.
Okay. So what we're looking at here is just our indicator, yeah?
Yes. Yeah. Very much. So
wow.
if you want it, basically, then
yeah.
Okay. So I guess it means that you won't have to. So yeah, you won't have to have the CT Mac on there at all unless it's being used for other stuff, because it obviously does offer other things in there as well.
Yeah, literally, I'm just using it to get those 4 EMAs. So you get 4 EMAs for the price of 1, But if we can combine it all into one indicator, that is just phenomenal. That's amazing. So yeah, do continue.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Okay. So the way I've got it set up, yeah, because also the other thing is it means that people who are on a like me, who are on one of the paying account.
Yeah, that's what I'm on, yeah.
With the still quite limited number of indicators. So it means that there's one less indicator you need to have on there.
Perfect.
So the way that the defaults are set up then at the moment is that initially, so the 5 and the 9 are just switched off. Obviously, you can just go in and switch them on. But the defaults, how I've currently got it, is that it's just 21 and 55 that are showing. We can probably add the color settings later. I've just kept it fairly basic for now, just to introduce it, really. So that's those. And then back over to the inputs. The that bit that's shaded there, that there are other probably better examples as well. That's the convergence zone. Okay. So it kind of gives a bit of a early indication of when the 21 and 55 are starting to converge towards each other. So if it's going to be bullish trend, then it's the positive slope on the 21, in which case it considers it to be bullish. If it's a negative slope on the 21, then it considers it to be bearish. But also so part of this that I thought was going to be like a nice quick win, like really straightforward, turned out to be kind of ridiculously unstraightforward. Okay. in terms of just figuring out if they're actually converging or not and trying to do it reliably. Because it turned out things like, so I was thinking like, well, this it could be based on just the angle of intersection. So if they're both kind of turning in a particular angle towards each other, you can normalize it a bit so that, and then like look at it sideways almost. Yeah. And like, are they intersecting? Are they approaching each other at a fairly sort of acute angle? The thing with calculating angles on a chart, as I discovered, is that it doesn't really work that well.
Okay.
So, I mean, getting the angle, the algorithm to calculate the angle is easy enough. Just ask one of the AI overlords, and they give you the code. But as it turned out, it just wasn't that reliable because, like, as soon as you do that sort of thing, the angle changes. Well, that one probably even more so. If you swap to a different time frame, then it's just a different set of angles, and obviously like different charts, just with different different price scales and so on. It's just different every time, so it's just not very reliable at all. But luckily, as I just kind of discovered while I was looking into that, because I learned such a lot of just new stuff that I didn't really know about in trying to work this out. So there's a rate of change, ROC, that is available to the scripting, the Pine script stuff within TradingView, and the rate of change actually allows it's like a more sort of smoothed out way of calculating the slope without resorting to angles. So it's literally they do some funky calculation thing, and then you then just call the function, telling it how many bars back in time to go to calculate it. Okay. And it just gives you a kind of a fairly normalized sort of number, a fraction, or floating point sort of number that you can then just use then, and then it's just a case of kind of looking at the rate of change of the green and the rate of change in the yellow, and kind of getting the difference between them, and then you can just from that look at you can get an idea of if they're.
Now at this point here, Maff went through how he'd created the convergence zones and how you can play with the threshold to make them appear or not appear. But for the moment, you can just leave everything on the default and it works just fine. But we can talk about that more in a later video. But the next thing you did was show me the indicator working on replay mode.
So this is really just to show how this could be just used when you're actually seeing events unfold, seeing the price trends unfold.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Maybe go back to about there. Also, so with these changes, I think what we're kind of doing is we've got a separation in terms of the this down here is all about momentum, and this part of the indicator up here is all about trend.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I go forward, so at this stage you might be thinking perhaps just down here on the basis of that you've opened a long, and at this stage you might be thinking, oh, things are starting to level about out of it. It seems like maybe momentum starting to weaken a bit there. Should I be thinking about exiting? I mean, to be honest, I probably would take a bit of profit there anyway.
Yeah.
Move the stop loss up.
Yeah.
But you could also just use the convergence zone to see if is this actually just turning bullish.
Right.
I mean, you can already kind of see that the 21 is starting to come round, so that's probably quite probable. But this, you might also want a bit of confirmation on that. So going forward a bit, come round, and then at this point, it's sort of like, oh no, now I'm just going to take the profit and run, or I'm just going to close my position, and so you might wait one more one more candle before you do that, and then sure enough this kicks in, and to that point okay, this is telling me maybe consider sort of hanging in there. Obviously it's still very much the decision of the person trading, of course, but just as an indication of the way it might go. Excuse me. So that kind of carries on a bit, and then sure enough it kind of kept going. The momentum is kind of looking like it's regaining its strength. That's starting to look like it when it's entered what's going to be a convergent zone, it seems.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that I might take out because it's not quite working very well at the moment.
Oh.
Sorry. So yeah, still working on that. Although, yeah, essentially, so that's then coming round, keeps going, and again here it's just so someone might be starting to get the jitters a bit at this stage. Just, do I carry on? Candles coming down. This is also starting to come around a bit. Is at the end of the run. But wait, what if this does just cross over? It's looking increasingly like it might.
Yeah.
And especially the angle bit.
Yeah, because at this point it's like, to me, either does one thing or the other. It crosses over and it's great, or they just don't quite cross over and it dumps like mad. So this is But yeah, this is really cool to see. Probably fairly obvious if you've looked at it enough. It's just like to have that visual thing there of like, oh, hang on a minute, this is the criteria is enough to trigger the green fill, and it might be a nice story after all. That's yeah.
Yeah, as a visual thing, I think it does sort of, it draws the attention to the fact that that's going on, I suppose, because if someone's trading and they're checking so many different things, I think it'd be quite easy to miss that because there's so much going on. But yeah, so, and at this stage, it's like, oh, I don't know, this is starting to look iffy. But, maybe I should hang in there.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would have the stop loss kind of right up, not right underneath it, but certainly way up in profit.
Even though I know what's going to happen because I saw it a few minutes ago, but even just watching it again, it's like, ooh, what happens? Because I've never looked at it like candle by candle. Sort of, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, because even though it's on the hourly, just kind of having it sped up, it does. Set the old pulse racing, I guess.
Yeah.
So at this stage, it'd be very. I mean, it's kind of bull penanting.
Yeah.
A fair amount there, so it might be reasonable to think that that's just pausing for breath and then it's going to carry on.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice that this is also sort of kind of back in that that theory up a bit. That this run ain't over yet. These are only just these are only just converging. I mean, they virtually crossed over there.
Yeah.
Little pixel of yellow, I think, just above the green on that last one.
Yeah.
And oh wow. And then
beautiful.
Yeah, pretty much, and obviously it carries up. But it goes off to the races then, just carries on up. So I would think that someone kind of just starting out with the indicator, they may want to start with just the green and the yellow visible, because I think it gives more clarity.
Yeah.
In terms of the convergence zones. Then later, probably fairly soon after, they may want to kind of add those two in as well. Just to get the full picture, so you can see the more kind of reactive things going on as well.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, the red, the 5 EMA tends to just follow the price line pretty much exactly anyway. And the blue, the cyan isn't far off.
Now, Maff did go on to show me a lot more features that he has improved and changed. But let's just have a quick look at what it's looking like on the current price of Bitcoin this morning on the 1st of July 2025. And what we can see here on the 1 hour time frame is that we did get this bearish convergence zone here with the 21.55 EMA, and they did cross over at about 10 p.m. UK last night, and since then the price has come down. Now at the moment we are getting so that the convergence band down here is actually below the 20% mark, and if we look in the past when this has happened, this is this kind of area sort of here and here where you can see the price was certainly at the bottom there, and also this one here, it was at a bottom there. So it's quite feasible we are getting towards a local bottom. So I'm expecting maybe a little bit more down and then we move up. And the only thing that's making me think otherwise is the fact that we are pretty much near all-time high, aren't we? If we just turn off the indicator for the moment and look at the monthly chart, you can see that the June candle close was the highest candle close ever. Not only that, the quarterly candle close was also the highest ever. And also, this was clearly now a bullish engulfing candle because Q1 was much smaller in every respect, not just the body, but the wicks as well. So that is a very bullish sign, particularly as that is the first quarterly bullish engulfing candle ever. And even if we look at the 6 monthly chart, this is of course the highest closing candle ever. Now this doesn't mean we couldn't just Bart Simpson straight back down here, back down to 98k. That could happen, but overall I think things are looking really bullish. But if you're interested in trading, I would hope that you're using TradingView. If you're not, it's free. But if you go to savetthecrypto.org/TV, you'll use my link where you can get $15 off an annual plan if you decide to buy an annual plan. Now I'm trading this on Blofin, where we've got this War of Wales competition going on, where we're going to win a Cybertruck and $4.2 million, hopefully. Although we need to try a little bit harder because at the moment in our team, there only seems to be 2 of us who are actually trading. Nevertheless, we are ranking at 274 out of many tens of thousands of teams. So we're doing okay. So join the competition. Just go to savetthecrypto.org/Blofin and you get all sorts of bonuses just for signing up and being part of the team. If you like the sound of that, please do give this video a big fat like. Make sure you are subscribed and you got the notifications set on all. Do go and get the quad rotation stochastic indicator and let me know what you think. Any questions, leave them in the comments down below. And above all, tell your friends.
I can't believe that Save with Crypto and Maff have chosen to make the quad rotation stochastic indicator in the United Kingdom rather than the United States. But they have clearly lost their minds because they are not even selling this great product. They are giving it away for free.
Okay, so we all know that Save with Crypto is the best YouTube channel on the planet, but it's not financial advice, right? So please do your own research and be responsible for your own actions. That way you will find that fairy tales will come true and we'll all become billionaires.